Alright, gang, I've switched over the radio in my car. If you're hearing me now, give me a peace sign out the window, please. Peace sign out the window. Very good. We are ready to roll on out. Alright, gang, welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Glad to have you. As you notice there, I put all our headlights in the off position except mine. That helps the folks in the tower identify who's who. Also, make sure you're in track mode. Just confirm that. That's where we're going to be running all afternoon. As we make our way through this first session, folks, just think of the progression of sessions kind of being like a crawl, a walk, and a slow jog. This first session is very much about getting the fundamentals down, making sure we understand the important reference points. So we're not going to move particularly going quickly here. We're just going to make our way along, get those references locked in. Alright, gang, here we go. As we come out, we're going to stay left here, so we stay off the racing line until we get up to speed. As we come hard left there, we're going to notice off on the right side there's a neon cone. That's a turn-in reference for corner number 2 here. Go ahead and get ourselves into third gear. The apex is coming into view on our left. And notice also we'll come right over the tip of what we call the blend line there. That's that blue and white line to the right. We're about a car width off the left side as we come under the bridge, but those eyes are looking well ahead. We've got several reference cones. We just came by the apex there at 3, got a turn-in reference here at 4, and then an apex reference down here in this little pocket for turn 4. Coming out of here, folks, we straighten up here on the left side of the track. We've got a couple of tall cones there that represent some brake references and a turn-in reference as well. We've got an apex right at the end of the road by the tires there for turn 5. As we come through, we're pointing toward the Coca-Cola and Toyota tower, but we ignore this apex curving on the inside there of turn 6, because 6 and 7 are connected, and the true apex for that connected corner is here beside the left side of my car now. Down the hill toward turn 8, only needs about half the track. Those eyes we're actually looking out of the passenger side window for the apex cone up there on the blue turtle curving. And then as we bring the car off of turn 8, we get squared up with the left side once again. Light little brush of the brakes off and settles the car. And on the inside of here at turn 9, we've got 2 apex cones. We've also got Rick waving the flag at us. It means we stay on the inside a bit longer. That enables us to crest the top of the hill nice and straight with straight hands on the wheel. Car flares out just a little between 9 and 10, but we're back to the left side of the track here for turn 10. Between 10 and 11, we just get ourselves set up on the left side of the track there because our eyes should be looking right. It's a very late apex here at 11. Our vision sweeps past Sunoco and lands on BetMGM on the right side of the track as we set up to brake for turn 12. The apex going for turn 12 is past the end of the tires here. We come out on the turn 12, we get up into lane 2, and we'll go ahead and grab the gear 5. If your eyes are up, you see the overhanging Bank of America banner just there for that one. We allow the car to come down just a little here. It's almost like we apex in front of Charlotte 9, and then just past the second overhanging Bank of America banner, we should be straddling that white line with our driver's seat. Notice the brake reference markers on the wall to our right, and between the 3 and 2 there's a blue board that reminds us to get back down a gear from 4th back down to 3rd for the back straight chicane. Coming out of the back straight chicane is when we first make our rotation. So first car in line, you're going to stay in lane 1. Next 2 cars are going to come on by. That first car in line is going to come up into the second lane 2. Alright folks, so now let's take a look. Now what we're thinking about in the upper left corner of the windshield, you should see this white square in the middle of the track coming into view. into third gear. Third gear is all we need from this point all the way to the so be sure to straddle with your driver's seat. There's some extra room away from the wall. And our focus for entry into the infield is right there at the edge of the grass. We've got an apex start. This brings us back to where we started. Things should start feeling more familiar. Right over the tip of that red line once again. Back gently to the left, about a car width off the left as we come under the bridge. Eyes up, we'll brush the brakes here, settle ourselves down. We've got to get down in that little depressed area there at turn 4. If ever there's a spot of apex coming that I was looking at you guys touching a little bit, that's it, there at turn 4. Otherwise, for the most part, we're going to be staying on the black asphalt and largely staying off of the paint. Again, this patient ring around the outside between 6 and 7. True apex is on the left. Down the hill between 7 and 8. Eyes looking out of the right side. Eyes up. Good finesse on the front as we climb the hill. A little brush of the brakes just to settle it down. Getting back inside in front of the corner worker station. Straight hands as you crest the hill. Eyes left across the grassy knoll for the apex of 10. A late apex here to the left. Use about 3 quarters of the track is all you need coming out of 11. And then getting back toward the right side here, pointed toward that MGM on the brakes, eyes looking left. Back up into lane 2. Notice those brake references on the wall and that downshift reference there between the 3 and the 2 mark. Third gear here for the back street chicane. 2 apexes in the chicane, and as we exit, we'll do another rotation here coming out, even though it will be slow. We're just working on the fundamentals this session. Everything's looking fine. Eyes up. What's our next thing? So next thing is that white square. I want you to find it with your eyeballs. I don't want you to fixate on it. I want you to shift your eyes on down into the front straight chicane. We're already starting to pick that up. Along the left side here, you see that blue cone that represents a decent downshift reference as well. We thread the needle here, we come right across this paint. This is the one area where it's perfectly okay to run across that paint. If you didn't, you'd be way out of sorts. Again, straddle on that broken line. We don't like to get too close to the wall. Once in a while, under heavy braking, these cars have a tendency to wiggle. We don't want to take up any margin that we've got available for that wiggle by being too close to the wall. The apex come on the inside here. We've also got that blend line right over the tip of it. We don't really want to be too much to the inside or too much to the outside there. The blend line is a nice little reference for us. Right in here, as the speeds really start picking up, when you transition the load of the car as you approach the bridge from one side to the other, that's a good time to get rid of a little speed as you come under the bridge. Turn 5 that we're coming up to now, this is one that as you accumulate more and more laps, you realize that you can carry a little more speed through here with each successive lap. And the corner just flows nicely from 5 into 6 and 7. And again, force those eyes up the hill. Stay away from this apex curbing, probably about a car width, maybe a car width and a half. Run this ring around the outside. You are going to have some maintenance throttle as you come through there, folks. But right there toward the end, if you just do a little relaxation on the maintenance throttle, you're going to notice that the car tightens up its line quite a bit just with the relaxation of the throttle. Folks, the group in front of us is going at a pace that's a little slower, so we're going to go ahead and get on around them. The instructor in front has given us the okay to do that. So they're going to stay low in lane 1, and we'll come on by as a nice tight group in lane 2 and carry on. Here we go, nice and smooth as we come over. The red match is doing some of that for you there. And we're going to go ahead and get ready to do another rotation here. Down in the pocket here for turn 4, touch it with that apex moving. Another little bit of braking here, but we're off the brakes, let the car roll through this corner. And then it up now to 6 and 7 for that patient ring around the outside. And just a little relaxation on that maintenance throttle will bring the nose down where it belongs. Back inside, tunnel right there at the corner worker station. Once again, you guys are doing great. Just focus this session on hitting those marks, really developing that muscle memory that's going to serve us well when we come back out and run a little quicker in the next sessions. Mind braking toward mid-MGM, eyes looking left. Pick up the throttle, pick it up harder as you come past the apex, and out of lane 2. that lap. And again, not to worry, just develop that muscle memory. If you're looking on past my car, right, and you're seeing some other lines that are being taken, you know, don't be influenced by that. Focus on the line that I'm laying down. So that's the one we want you to try to remember. We should be getting the checker this time, which is up there at the top of turn 9. Eyes are up, we should already see that. Checker flag is out. And we will stay on the racing line on this checker flag lap as we make our way back in, kind of keep ourselves out of any debris that might be offline. Also, just more practice for that muscle memory of where the car needs to be. Good job for us. It's pretty easy. When we return to a garage stall, you're going to return right to A1, same place you came from. When you get them parked, be sure to shut them off in first gear if they can feed off the brakes. While our brakes aren't that hot right now, they will be later. So you don't want to heat soak those brakes. As soon as you get them parked and shut off at first, go take your feet off the brakes. Also remember to disconnect your comms from your helmets so you don't get your head yanked when you go to jump out of the car. I'll meet you outside your cars to have a short little conversation, and then we'll be going into the classroom next. All right, folks, A1, please. A1, I'm going to proceed on around the building, and I'll meet up with you at your cars here in just a moment. A1.